Good evening, and welcome to Election Night in America 2032. Today, we have Beto O'Rourke and his running mate Nikki Fried going up against Ted Cruz and his running mate Tim Scott. Ron DeSantis has endorsed Ted Cruz, so that could give him a boost because Ron DeSantis is very popular. Ron DeSantis, most people are saying that he's one of America's greatest presidents. And if Beto O'Rourke wins, this would not be a surprise for pollsters because Beto O'Rourke is easily leading in the polls. But if Ted Cruz wins, this could be another 2016. Exit polls are a couple seconds away. So Beto O'Rourke's running mate, as we said, is Nikki Fried, and Ted Cruz's running mate is Tim Scott. So if Ted Cruz wins, he would have the second black vice president in American history. And if Beto O'Rourke wins, he will have the second woman vice president in American history. But now the exit polls are in. So here are our 2032 exit polls. We have asked lots of voters who they think will do just stuff like who they think So, party ID. More people have gone Democrat since 2028. Democrat was 38%, was 37%, and now it's 38%. But Republicans have gained. So independents are now turned into Democrats or Republicans. So next is direction of the country. 62% say we're on the right track. 38% say we're on the wrong track. This is lower than it was in 2028. And now, opinion of Ted Cruz. 47% approve and 53% disapprove, while DeSantis was very, very popular. And now for the opinion of Beto O'Rourke. 49% approve and 51% disapprove. And AOC was the candidate in 2028, and she was very, very unpopular. So here's President DeSantis' approval rating. He has had some very high approval ratings because he has been very popular. His lowest approval rating was his starting, but his highest disapproval rating was his approval rating coming up to the 2028 election because Democrats were just trying to do everything they can to just get him out of office. And now, it is now 7 p.m., and the polls have closed in the states of Indiana, Kentucky, Vermont, Virginia, South Carolina, and Georgia. Georgia has a yellow border because it is a battleground state. So, now we have the first projection of the day. In the state of Kentucky, Ted Cruz will win in the state of Kentucky. No surprise here. In the state of South Carolina, this is typically too early or too close to call, but Tim Scott is his running mate, so that has gotten him a lot of support out of South Carolina. In the state of Vermont, we can now project we'll go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. And in the state of Virginia, we can project we'll go to Beto O'Rourke. Again, no surprise here. And Indiana is too early to call. 51% in, Beto O'Rourke holds a lead there. In the state of Georgia, too close to call. 9% in, Beto O'Rourke also holds a lead there. Now we do have some Senate projections. In the state of Kentucky, James Comer, we can project will get another term. He defeats Charles Booker. And in the state of Virginia, it is too close to call. Taylor is beating Hering by 0.5%. And in the state of South Carolina, Joe Cunningham is beating Nancy Mace, but it is too early to call. And in the state of Georgia, Stacey Abrams is beating Seamus Coughlin. Seamus Coughlin was a surprise candidate. He is the person that runs the YouTube channel Freedom Tunes. But right now, Stacey Abrams is leading by around 11.9%. And now for some governor projections. In the state of Indiana, we can project that Todd Young will be the governor there. He has defeated Josh Owens. In the state of Vermont, Molly Gray and Clark right now is winning by around 4 points, but it is too early to call. And now let's look at the road to 270. Ted Cruz is winning 18-14. So now let's look at the road to 51. Herschel Walker is the Senate Majority Leader for the Republicans. So the Republicans currently have 35 seats, and Democrats currently have 33 seats because Pete Buttigieg is the Senate Majority Leader. And now for the road to 26. Republicans currently hold 22 seats, and the Democrats currently hold 18 seats. And now let's look at the House of Representatives. As you see, Anna from TYT is now the Speaker of the House for the Democrats, and Republican Speaker of the House is Mike Garcia. Mike Garcia is winning by, the Republicans are winning by a very wide, well, not very wide, but a pretty good amount of House seats. And now it is 7:30 p.m. and the polls have closed in the states of Ohio, West Virginia, and North Carolina. North Carolina is a battleground state. Now, Indiana, we can now project will go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. Ohio, we can now project will go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. West Virginia, we can project will go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. And in Georgia, it is still too close to call. Only 11% in, and Beto O'Rourke still holds a lead. And in the state of North Carolina, it is too early to call. Beto O'Rourke holds a huge lead there. And now, for some Senate projections, in the state of South Carolina, we can project will go to Nancy Mace. No surprise here. In the state of West Virginia, Jim Justice, we can project will win in West Virginia. In the state of Virginia, it is still too close to call. Mark Herring is losing to Taylor by around 0.1%. So this is a very close race. And in the state of Georgia, Stacey Abrams is still leading Seamus Coughlin, but the lead has shrunk. And now in the state of North Carolina, Roy Cooper is leading Laura Trump by a very wide margin, but it is too early to call. In the state of Vermont, Molly Gray is now leading Clark by around 1 point. And now in the state of West Virginia, Joe Manchin is leading Witt by around 0.5%. And now in North Carolina, Jeff Jackson is leading Mark Walker by around 16%. And for the road to 270, Ted Cruz is leading 50-14. And for the road to 51, Republicans currently have 37 seats and the Democrats currently have 33 seats. And in the NGA, Republicans currently have 22 seats and the Democrats still have 18 seats. And now for the House of Representatives, Republicans are winning by a lot. They're winning by 40 seats right now. But they still have not reached the 218-seat majority. But the Republicans are still expected to win the House. And now, it is 8 p.m. and the polls have closed in the states of Florida, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, District of Columbia, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Illinois, Missouri, and Oklahoma. All the states colored in yellow are the battleground states. And we do have a projection. Ted Cruz will win in the state of Florida. No surprise here. Florida has been shifting to the right by a lot in the past couple of years, so this is not a big surprise, but it is worth a lot of electoral votes. And now, Maine District 2, we can now project will go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. In Alabama, we can project will go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In the state of Tennessee, we can project will go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. In the state of Mississippi, Beto O'Rourke was putting in a lot of support to try to win the state, but we can project it will go to Ted Cruz. And in the state of Missouri, we can now project it will go to Ted Cruz. In the state of Oklahoma, we can now project it will go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. In Maine District 1, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. And in the state of Massachusetts, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Rhode Island, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. Again, no surprise here. In the state of Connecticut, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. Again, no surprise here. In the state of New Jersey, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. And in the state of Delaware, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. This is the home state of former President Joe Biden. In the state of Maryland, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. This is the home state of Ethan Kelly. And In the state of in District of Columbia, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. And then the state of Illinois, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. Again, no surprise here. Georgia, it is still too close to call, but Beto O'Rourke's lead has shrunk. And in the state of North Carolina, still too close to call, but Beto O'Rourke's lead has shrunk. In the state of Maine, Maine at large, it is too early to call. Ted Cruz holds a lead there. In the state of New Hampshire, it is too early to call. Ted Cruz holds a lead there. In the state of Pennsylvania, it is too early to call. Ted Cruz also holds a lead there. And in the state of New Hampshire, for the Senate, we can now project that SUNUNU will win another term. No surprise here. In the state of Alabama, we can now project that Martha Robbie will win another term. In the state of Tennessee, we can now project that Peyton Manning will be elected. This is no surprise. Peyton Manning is a former NFL player for the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts, and he played for Tennessee in college. And in the state of Mississippi, Cindy Hyde-Smith will win another term. No surprise here. In the state of Oklahoma, James Lankford will win another term. Again, no surprise here. In the state of Virginia, Mark Herring, this is a huge projection. We can project that he will defeat Scott Taylor. This is very surprising. This isn't surprising, but it's a very important projection. Now, in the state of Massachusetts, Joe Kennedy, we can project will win another term. In the state of Rhode Island, Jack Reed, we can project he will win another term. In the state of New Jersey, Cory Booker will win another term. In the state of Delaware, Chris Coons will win another term. In the state of Illinois, Tammy Duckworth will win another term. Georgia, still too close to call. Stacey Abrams' lead has shrunk by a lot now. And North Carolina, still too early to call. Roy Cooper, his lead has shrunk by a lot now. In the state of Maine, Sarah Gideon, this is a rematch from the 2020 election against Susan Collins, because Susan Collins she did decide to retire, but now she's deciding to run for a different Senate seat, because Sarah Gideon did take Angus King's Senate seat, but Sarah Gideon is leading. And now, in the state of this is a huge rejection in the House of Representatives. This is the first flip of tonight. Chuck Morse will win New Hampshire District 2. He has defeated Joyce Craig. This is the first flip of tonight. And now, in New Hampshire Governor Kelly Ayotte, we can project will defeat Tom Sherman. No surprise there. In the state of Missouri, Mike Parson, we can project will defeat Nicole Galloway. No surprise here. In the state of Vermont, Molly Gray, this is a huge projection. We can defeat that. She will defeat John Clark. And now, in the state of Delaware, Jill Biden, former First Lady, we can project will win another term as Delaware governor. Sorry for the error there. That was a mistake. She is supposed to be defeating somebody else, but yeah. In the state of West Virginia, Witt is now leading Joe Manchin with 69% in. In the state of North Carolina, Jeff Jackson is leading Mark Walker, but his lead has shrunk. And now, for the road to 270, Ted Cruz is leading 126 to 83. And now, for the road to 51, the Republicans currently have 42 seats, and the Democrats currently have 39 seats. And now for the governors, the Republicans currently have 24 seats, and the Democrats currently have 20 seats. And in the House of Representatives, Republicans currently have 129 seats, and the Democrats currently have 84 seats. And now, it is 8:30 p.m., and the polls have closed in the state of Arkansas. In the state of Arkansas, we can project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In the state of Georgia, still too close to call. Beto O'Rourke's lead has shrunk, though. Same with the state of North Carolina, still too close to call, but Beto O'Rourke's lead has shrunk. In the state of Maine, Beto O'Rourke is now leading, but is still too close to call. In the state of New Hampshire, Ted Cruz's lead has shrunk. And in the state of Pennsylvania, Ted Cruz's lead has also shrunk. In Arkansas Senate, we can project that Tom Cotton will win another term. He has defeated Jack Foster. In Georgia, we can project that Seamus Coughlin is now leading Stacey Abrams. This is huge. Stacey Abrams was expected to win the seat. And now, in the state of North Carolina, Roy Cooper his lead is shrunk by a lot, but he's still leading Laura Trump. And in the state of Maine, Sarah Gideon is still leading Susan Collins. Her lead has not shrunk, though, and sorry for the error again right here. And in the state of West Virginia, Alan Witt, we can project, will now defeat Joe Manchin. This is a huge projection. In the state of North Carolina, Jeff Jackson is Mark Walker's now leading Jeff Jackson. This is very surprising. And now for the road to 270, Ted Cruz is winning 132 to 83. And now for the road to 51, Herschel Walker is now winning. The Republicans are now winning 43 to 39. And in the NGA, Republicans now have 25 seats. They're one away from taking the majority, and the Democrats have 20 seats. And now, in the House of Representatives, the Republicans have 133 seats, and the Democrats have 84 seats. And now, it is 9 p.m., and the polls have closed in the states of Michigan, Louisiana, Texas, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, New York, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and that is all. In the state of Louisiana, we can now project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In the state of Nebraska, all five electoral votes we can project will go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. In the state of South Dakota, we can project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. And with North Dakota, we can project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. Again, no surprise here. In the state of Wyoming, we project we'll go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In Maine at large, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. This is a huge projection, but it is not a flip from last time. In the state of New York, we project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Colorado, we project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Georgia, still too close to call, but Ted Cruz is now holding a lead there. In the state of North Carolina, it is still too close to call, but Ted Cruz also holds a lead there now. In the state of New Hampshire, still too close to call. Ted Cruz still holds a lead there. And in the state of Pennsylvania, still too close to call. Ted Cruz also still holds a lead there. In the state of Michigan, too early to call. Beto O'Rourke holds a lead there. In the state of Texas, too close to call. This is Beto O'Rourke and Ted Cruz, both of their home states. But Beto O'Rourke is leading. And now in the state of Kansas, too early to call. Beto O'Rourke has put in a lot of money to try to win Kansas. And now in the state of Wisconsin, too early to call. Ted Cruz holds a lead there. In the state of Minnesota, too early to call. Too close to call. Ted Cruz holds a lead there by only around 5.5%. In the state of New Mexico, this is surprisingly too early to call. Beto O'Rourke holds a lead there. In the state of Arizona, Ted Cruz is winning by around 2%, but is too close to call. In Nebraska Senate, Matt Ennis, we can project, will defeat Daniel Wick. In the state of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, the former governor, we can now project will defeat Dan Allers. In the state of Wyoming, Robert Short, we can project, will defeat Rex Wild. And in Maine, this is a huge projection. We can project that Sarah Gideon will win another term. In the state of Colorado, we can project that Jared Polis will will defeat Ken Buck. In the state of New Hampshire, we can project that Deb Haaland will defeat Richard Berry. In New Mexico. In the state of Georgia, it's still too close to call. Seamus Coughlin holds a lead there. In the state of North Carolina, it is still too close to call, but Laura Trump now holds a lead there. In the state of Michigan, it is too early to call. Gretchen Whitmer holds a lead over John James there. In the state of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards is losing to John Kennedy. And in the state of Texas, Ben Shapiro is defeating Julian Castro right now. And in the state of Kansas, Mike Pompeo is defeating Laura Kelly right now. And in the state of Minnesota, Mike Lindell holds a lead over Bill Ham. In the state of North Carolina, we can now project that Mark Walker will win, which this now means that we can project that the Republicans will win the NGA. This is a very huge projection. Polls were all favoring the Democrats to win this, especially the 538 polls. The 538 polls thought that Democrats would somehow get 51 seats out of 50 governor seats. Somehow, I don't know. And now, in the state of North Dakota, we can now project that Doug Burgum will win there. For the road to 270, Ted Cruz has 154 electoral votes, and Beto O'Rourke has 121 electoral votes. And in the Senate, the Republicans have 47 seats, and the Democrats have 41 seats. And in the NGA, Republicans have already won the NGA. They have 27 seats, and Democrats have 20 seats. And now, for the House of Representatives, the Republicans are super close to winning. They have 214 seats, and the Democrats have 131 seats. And now it is 10 p.m. and the polls have closed in the states of Iowa, Montana, Utah, and Nevada. In the state of Kansas, we can now project we'll go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Wisconsin, this is a huge projection. We can project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. In the state of Iowa, we can project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In the state of Montana, we can project that we'll go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In the state of Utah, we can project we'll go to Ted Cruz. No surprise here. In the state of New Mexico, Beto O'Rourke, we project will win there. No surprise here. In the state of Arizona, this is the first presidential flip of tonight. We can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. And in the state of Georgia, it is still too close to call. Ted Cruz holds a lead there. In the state of North Carolina, it is still too close to call. Ted Cruz holds a lead there. In the state of New Hampshire, it is still too close to call. Ted Cruz still holds a lead there, but it has shrunk by a lot. In the state of Pennsylvania, still too close to call. Ted Cruz still holds a lead there. In the state of Michigan, it is still too close to call. Beto O'Rourke holds a lead there. In the state of Texas, Ted Cruz holds a lead there. He's winning by around 2 points right now. In the state of Michigan, Beto O'Rourke is now leading. Minnesota. Beto O'Rourke is now leading, but this would be a surprise if he wins the state of Minnesota. Now, in the state of Nevada, Ted Cruz is winning. No surprise here. And in the state of North Carolina, we can now project that we'll go to Laura Trump. This is a huge projection. She has defeated Roy Cooper. In the state of Louisiana, we can project that we'll go to John Kennedy. This is also a huge projection because Democrats are putting a lot of money for John Bel Edwards to win. In the state of Texas, Ben Shapiro, we can now project will defeat Julian Castro. In the state of Kansas, Mike Pompeo, we can now project will defeat Laura Kelly, which this means that we can now project that the Republicans will win the Senate. This is a huge projection. So this is very surprising how they have won the Senate. All polls were expecting the Democrats to get 60 seats in the Senate. And now, in the state of Iowa, JONI ERNST, we can project will defeat Rob Sand. In the state of Montana, Steve Daines in a rematch against Steve Bullock. Steve Daines, we can project will win. In the state of Georgia, Seamus Coughlin is still leading Stacey Abrams. In the state of Michigan, John James is now leading Gretchen Whitmer. In the state of Minnesota, Mike Lindell is now leading Bill Ham. And we can now project that the Republicans will win the House of Representatives. This is not that big of a surprise, but polls were saying that Democrats will get 500 seats in the House. But they were very wrong because there's not even 500 seats in the House, and they were expecting the Democrats to get 500 seats. In the state of Montana, Greg Gianforte, we can project will defeat Riley Neal. In the state of Utah, Spencer Cox, we can project will defeat Jenny Wilson. Now for the road to 270, Ted Cruz currently has 185 electoral votes, and Beto O'Rourke has 137. In the Senate, the Republicans have 53 seats, and the Democrats have 41 seats. There has not been any flips so far in the Senate. And in the governors, Republicans have 29 seats, the Democrats have 20 seats. And in the House, Republicans have already won with 226 seats so far, and the Democrats have 100 234 seats. Again, no surprise here to us at PAC headquarters. And now, it is 11 p.m., and the polls have closed in the states of Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii. In the state of North Carolina, a huge projection we can project it will go to Ted Cruz. In the state of Pennsylvania, this is another huge projection we can project it will go to Ted Cruz. In the state of Texas, this is another huge projection we can project it will go to Ted Cruz. In the state of Nevada, another huge projection we can project it will go to Ted Cruz. In the state of Idaho, this is not that big of a surprise, but we can project it will go to Ted Cruz, which just now means Ted Cruz will now be the 47th President of the United States. Oh, sorry for the typo there. It should say 48th. But Rafael Edward Cruz is now the President-elect, and Tim Scott is now the Vice President-elect. In the state of New Hampshire, first flip of the night, we can project it will go to Beto. Second flip of the night, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. In the state of Michigan, third flip of the night, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. In the state of Minnesota, fourth flip of the night, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. And in the state of Washington, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Oregon, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of California, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Hawaii, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Georgia, it is still too close to call. Beto O'Rourke holds a lead there. In the state of Georgia, in the Senate in Georgia, this is a huge projection. We can project that Seamus Coughlin has defeated Stacey Abrams. This is the first Senate flip of tonight. This is very surprising. Stacey Abrams was expected to win this race by 1 million points, according to the 537 polls. So, yeah. And in the state of Michigan, another huge projection, we project that John James will defeat Gretchen Whitmer. And in the state of Minnesota, Mike Lindell, we project will defeat Bill Ham. And in the state of Idaho, Brad Little, we can project will defeat James Vandermeer. And in the state of Oregon, Jeff Merkley, we can project will defeat Julie Parrish. And in the state of Washington, Russell Wilson, former NFL player, we can project will defeat Tiffany Smiley. And for the road to 270, Ted Cruz currently has 273 electoral votes, and Beto O'Rourke has 246 electoral votes. And in the Senate, Republicans currently have 57 seats, and the Democrats currently have 42 seats. And now in the NGA, there will be no all the polls have closed, and this is the final result in the NGA. The Democrats have 21 seats, and Republicans have 29 seats. And in the House of Representatives, Republicans have 248 seats, and Democrats have 186 seats. And now, it is 1 a.m., and the polls have closed in the state of Alaska. In the state of Alaska, we can project will go to Beto O'Rourke. No surprise here. In the state of Georgia, we can project it will go to Beto O'Rourke. No, this is a huge flip. I'm sorry that we said that Alaska will go to Beto O'Rourke. So yeah, this is a huge flip. So yeah, but Beto O'Rourke still won't be president. And in the state of Alaska, Dan Sullivan, we project will defeat Al Gross. Here's the final presidential map. Ted Cruz won 276 to 262. This is a very close election. And now, in the final Senate map, the Republicans have 58 seats, and the Democrats have 42 seats. In the final gubernatorial map, the Republicans have 29 seats, and the Democrats have 21 seats. And in the final House chart, as we see here, Republicans have 249 seats, and the Democrats have 186 seats. Now the final popular vote, the Republicans have, Beto O'Rourke got 80 million votes, and Ted Cruz got 77 million votes. We did not count third parties. So this is the end of the video. I hope you guys liked this. There was a lot of errors and typos and stuff in there, but yeah, you were the guys that voted on these results, so don't get mad at me. So yeah, I was at camp. I'm sorry if I sound like I have a sore throat or something, because I lost my voice at camp. And yeah, please go subscribe to my second channels, Pack Live and Pack Sports. This is the end of the video, and bye.